Welcome into First Pitch for Monday, May 15th. I am Drew Martin, joined by Marco D'Angelo, Dwayne Bryant, and Steve Merrill of WagerTalk.com. Guys, if you haven't checked out the website yet today, $9 Monday, all plays discounted to just $9. We got big game breakdown. We got best bets on the slate for the Monday night card here on the diamond. And first up here, the Brewers and the Cardinals as we're heading to Marco D'Angelo. And Marco, what are you thinking here? Milwaukee and St. Louis.
Yeah, guys, these are the two teams that most people figured would be battling in the Central Division. Pirates were a little bit of a surprise early, but they're back to what the Pirates are. They're at a massive losing streak. They did win one yesterday, but they can't hit their way out of a wet paper bag right now. But St. Louis, they are winning right now after they had a 2-week stretch where they couldn't buy a win. But, Drew, I like fading teams returning home off of a road trip. That's something that's been very good to me over the years. And in this instance, St. Louis is coming off the Sunday night ESPN game, which is another angle a lot of people like to use, fading those teams that were on the road for the Sunday night ESPN game and then have to travel back home or travel to another city the next day. That's not worked as well recently as it has in the past, but it's still an angle to look at. But for me, I'm looking at starting pitching in this one. And you got Freddie Peralta going for Milwaukee. And although his season numbers are just average, if you look at his last 3 starts, I'm going to look to back him. He's pitched into the 6th inning in all 3 of those starts. He's allowed 2, 2, and 1 earned run. His strikeout to walk ratio, which is something I like to look at a lot, 23-5. When a guy's got a ratio like that, that tells me he's had full command of his pitches. And the same cannot be said on the other side of the mound. Jack Flaherty has been an absolute mess for the Cardinals. Last 3 starts, ZRA 12.75, a whip of 2.58. Just think about that for a moment. He's averaging 2.5 base runners per inning. You put that many guys on base, Drew, nothing good is going to happen, especially when you've had 6 straight starts where you've given up at least 1 home run. I'm going to go ahead and look at St. Louis in this one. Or excuse me, not St. Louis. I'm going to look to fade St. Louis and take Milwaukee. One last stat on St. Louis. I know this will turn itself around at some point this year, but they are a dismal 7-18 under the lights this year in night games. Let's look at Milwaukee for the big game breakdown.
Yeah, that is a crazy stat. I've heard that, Marco. And you know, I've done my handicapping with night-day splits, but it's usually like to pull out the day split because there's less games like that. This Cardinals night split, I mean, have you ever seen that before? Do you use that in your handicapping in the past?
It's something, I agree with you. It's day is where you see more of a discrepancy with teams because a lot of times you'll see the day games. You're talking about Saturday and Sunday games, which generally you have more people at the ballparks and this and that, or it's the dreaded Wednesday or Thursday afternoon getaway games. And a lot of times teams rest starters on the getaway game if you're the road team and such. So you can get a disparity in lines there. But at night, no, I haven't seen anything this bad. But like I said, St. Louis has been bad in general to start the season. Now they're on a winning streak. So I expect that to come a little bit back towards the norm.
Yeah, a lot in that handicap, guys. We got the Sunday night baseball fade, St. Louis returning home, like Marco just explained for you. So great stuff. Marco D'Angelo, WagerTalk.com in the top spot, leadoff role. We'll head to our 2-hole hitter here, Dwayne Bryant. Dwayne, so you had a minor league game there with Adam Trigger. Good stuff on Twitter, guys. Check them out there. And we got the Atlanta Braves and Texas Rangers. I'm seeing big game breakdown. What are you looking to do with the Braves and Rangers today? Braves minus 140. I believe Charlie Morton on the hill here, Dwayne.
Yeah, so we got Charlie Morton starting for Atlanta here. And on the surface, he appears to be pitching pretty well. But some of the advanced metrics indicate to me that maybe he's been a bit lucky. I might have some regression coming his way. And with Texas being one of the better offenses, that could kick off that regression for Morton here today. Texas is averaging 6.7 runs per game at home against teams starting a right-handed pitcher. And in the 4 times this year that they were a home dog against a righty, they averaged 9.75 runs per game. So no surprise, the Rangers with the advanced metrics own a 114 WRC plus against righties. That improves to 136 at home. That's 36% above league average and ranks third in MLB. Back to Morton for a second, though. Since last season, the over is 8-0 when Morton starts a road night game. And they've averaged 11.6 total runs per game in those games. On the other side, we've got Cody Bradford making his MLB debut for Texas. He made 7 AAA starts this year. And on the surface, he's got an 0.91 ERA, looks fantastic. But he's got a 5.19 xFIP and a 92.5 left on base percentage that tells me he's been extremely lucky there. And now he's got to face Atlanta. The Braves own a 152 WRC plus against lefties. That's second best in baseball, 52% above league average. Braves averaging 6 runs per game on the road against teams starting a lefty. Maybe Atlanta doesn't get to him the first time through the lineup because they've never faced him. But I'm expecting that they're going to get to him before he exits this game. He's going to have some nerves. It's his MLB debut. He's going to be in front of the home crowd. He's got to feel some pressure there. And that's only got to be amplified going against a top lefty hitting team like Atlanta. So with this total sitting, last I looked, it was sitting at 9. I can definitely see this one getting over that number.
Yeah, seeing a 9 over minus 115 on the WagerTalk live odds screen right now, guys. By the way, best free live odds in the industry, Braves at the Rangers. We'll have Steve Merrill here in a second. Marco, we were talking a little bit before going live about the Las Vegas A's. I believe from what I'm reading now, they're going to keep the team name. And you mentioned you've been to the AAA park there in Las Vegas. What's your overall handicap and thoughts here with the A's probably leaving Oakland? So kind of like a dead period here. Would you look to kind of fade them more in the Coliseum? And your overall thoughts with the A's kind of moving to Las Vegas? Are you excited about it as a fan here?
I'm excited as a fan, as a person that lives in Las Vegas. I may never use Tropicana Avenue again because it is going to be just an absolute nightmare as far as traffic goes. They're putting it where the Trop casino is right now. They're going to tear that down. And if you've been, I know you've been here before, Drew. You lived here for a little bit of time. When they put T-Mobile in and we have, hockey games and stuff, traffic is a mess. Now you throw a baseball stadium in right on Las Vegas Boulevard, it is going to be an absolute nightmare as far as traffic goes. But I've seen the renderings, some of the renderings that they've been pushing around town. It's going to be a cool ballpark. And Vegas, we saw how they've taken to the Vegas Golden Knights. We also have a WNBA team in town. We have the Las Vegas Raiders. It has become a full-blown sports town for sure. So looking forward to that. They may end up playing some games at the minor league stadium until their home is built, which is going to take a couple years. It's a nice ballpark. I will tell you this much, though. If they do play there, I'll be playing a lot of overs for the A's. One, because the pitching staff's not good, but two, it's a ballpark that the ball carries well in this dry heat out here in the desert. So looking forward to it. It'll be fun. I love it. Love baseball, and I have to be. If I'm a Pittsburgh Pirate fan, you've got to really love baseball to be a Pirate fan with all the misery I've had. But for the A's moving forward right now, it's almost like when we talk about college football, whenever there's a lame duck coach. And that's what the Oakland A's are right now in Oakland. They're not getting a crowd. Nobody, cares. And you got to wonder about them because all these guys, they don't know where they're going to be uprooting their family in a year or two. So I'm not jumping in line to bet the A's anytime soon. And they're not responding on the dime. And pitching's horrible. They've been just getting blasted left and right. So you got to pick your spots because you got to lay a big number and find creative ways to bet against the A's, whether you're doing team totals on the other team or doing first 5 innings and laying a half a run when you can. Those are the spots that I look forward to.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation overall, guys. It doesn't really happen that often. I think business-wise for Las Vegas, I mean, outside of the traffic, I think it's going to be great. You know, they got that monorail system to go from like all the hotels and head towards that way on the Las Vegas Strip, sort of near the airport when you fly into Vegas. If they do end up building it there, which I believe they already kind of purchased the property, and if it's a retractable roof stadium, people would just walk up. I think like business-wise for Las Vegas, it's going to be big. And if they have to play the games there at the AAA stadium while it's getting built, I think that's a better option than playing it in Oakland. With all due respect to Oakland fans out there, I know some are probably going to be upset. I mean, if nobody's going to it anyway in the Coliseum, might as well have it at a nice AAA stadium there and pack that out. And to Marco's point, betting the overs when it happens. It's actually happened before. The Toronto Blue Jays, if you remember, with COVID, they couldn't play in Toronto due to the Canadian government, and they played some of their games in their spring training facility and also in their minor league park, I believe in upstate New York, and it was a huge overfest. There was a lot of home runs being hit, so we'll see if that happens again in Las Vegas. I believe we've got Steve Merrill now on Twitter at Steve Merrill. Steve, I think we got you here, and I'm seeing Royals and Padres for your big game breakdown. What do you got?
Yeah, by the way, I went to the game last year in August with Brian Leonard. Marco is going to join us. Hopefully, we can catch up this year at a game when we're out at the meet and greet. So if you're out there in August for the August 19th meet and greet, they're in town the week before, though. They have an extended road trip that week, so it might be difficult to catch them. But yeah, that is an altitude stadium in Summerlin. And of course, the game I went to was scoreless after 5 innings, but then it picked up a little bit after that. Hey, speaking of streaks and whatever, the A's might be on a losing streak, but let's look at this under streak with the San Diego Padres. What is it now? I believe 13 straight. I mean, this team has been good pitching, bad hitting, and it's been a monster run to the under here in recent weeks with San Diego. And I don't think that necessarily changes tonight. It might seem too obvious, but we got a total of 9, which is a fairly high total still. We talk about 9 always being that key number in baseball, and I believe it is so because, games don't land on even numbers as often as they land on odd numbers. That's because of extra innings. If this game is 4-4, it's got to end up at 9 or more, right? So 9's always a critical number with totals. So I have no problem playing this game under the total here for a San Diego team that's gone under without 13 straight. And it really is remarkable how little offense they've had, yet how good their pitching's been at times. And that's why they're just 19-22. So the question becomes, can Kansas City put up any runs tonight? And I'm not so sure they can. This is a Kansas City team I talked about last week on Wager Talk Today. They'd come off 3 straight games back at the beginning of May, May 3rd through May 5th, in which they put up 24 runs, and they'd had 39 hits in those games against Baltimore and the Oakland A's, by the way. But they've cooled off. They've had single-digit hits now, I believe, in 7 of their last 9 games. They did put up 6 runs at Milwaukee yesterday on Sunday, but it's misleading. They only had 8 hits, only left 5 guys on base. Normally, you do not get 6 runs with that kind of stat line. And keep in mind, they had only 3 runs and 1 run in the first 2 games at Milwaukee. Now they're traveling without rest. I don't think San Diego heats up either. They've lost 5 straight and 7 of their last 8 overall. And this team has now put up 3 runs or less in every one of those losses. The only game they won, they put up 6. They put up 3 or less in the other 7 games. They've put up 2 or less in over half those games. Might seem obvious. It might seem simple, but I don't feel like the odds makers are fully adjusted for this underrun. And we'll look at the Padres and Royals to go under 9 tonight on Monday.
Trend is your friend. Padres under. Steve Merrill there, guys. A reminder, $9 Monday, WagerTalk.com. All plays, big bets, all of them from all the handicappers discounted to just $9. It is time for best bets. Huge shout out to the chat box, everybody joining us live. Feel free to chime in. Any questions, fire away. We'll answer them first pitch here on the Wager Talk YouTube channel throughout the week. And also, if you're watching on replay, that's cool as well. Feel free to drop a line below in the reply section. Let us know you're watching. Let us know what you're betting, and any questions, all is welcome. We got the Gold Sheet best bet here, guys. And actually, we're going to knock out 2 birds with 1 stone because I'm lining up with them here. And it is the Colorado Rockies for the Gold Sheet. It's plus 110, a little home underdog. And we got a couple reasons why from the Gold Sheet. Colorado is in the midst of an extended home stretch while Cincinnati is arriving from Miami. Seabold, their pitcher here, the Rock starter, he's been right around the plate, only allowed 3 walks in his last 15.2 innings. And Hunter Green has allowed at least 3 walks in 4 of his 8 starts this season. Cincinnati's only 6-13 on the road this year. So you can see it there from the Gold Sheet. Our trends and angles brought to you by goldsheet.com. And I'm lining up with them as well, which I like doing. Gold Sheet, a sharp handicapping service here. I guess the only thing I would add, I see it a lot like the Gold Sheet does, is Hunter Green. He's only pitched in Coors Field one time before in his career. He's a young pitcher. He does throw hard. I think his ceiling's high. However, in that one start, he had over a 1,000 team OPS. So he got knocked around. 2.3 whip, meaning, walks, hits per inning. There's a lot of runners on base, which is what you do not want in Coors Field. And he did not make it out of the fourth inning. So a mile high here, the thin air. I think the home dog is barking here, and that is the Rockies at the plus 110 price tag here, guys. So we got best bets in the book. That is my best bet on the Rockies, plus 110. Gold Sheet as well, looking at the Rocks, plus 110. We'll go down the list here, guys. Smash that like button if you're liking the content. We got Marco D'Angelo up next. Brought the heat here with his big game breakdown, his thoughts on the Oakland A's as well. Guys, check them out, WagerTalk.com, $9 Monday, 4% interleague game of the week tonight for just $9. Marco's 4% plays are 25-13 since April 1st. Over the last 4 months, 184 and 131 on all plays for a profit of over $11,000. So you're going to want to check out these plays, 4% ones, interleague one up for Marco D'Angelo for just $9. Marco, any final thoughts here for the show? And what do you got for best bet? I'm seeing the Angels with Ohtani on the hill.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm going to look to the Angels, and I'm going to make it a first 5-inning wager. Simply put, because I don't trust the bullpens in this game. So I want to look to make this starting pitcher versus starting pitcher. And we look at Ohtani. He's had 8 starts this year. He's in 6 of his 8 starts. He's allowed 3 runs or less. In fact, 5 of those 6, he's allowed 0 or 1 run. So I look for him to outpitch Grayson Rodriguez for Baltimore, who, if you look at his numbers, they're not good. He's got an ERA of 5.08. He's got a whip of 1.54. But yet somehow, with numbers as alarming as that, Baltimore has managed to win 6 of his 7 starts. Still scratch my head at that. They do score runs for him. So I'm not going to go the full game. I'll look at the first 5. And as I said, I want Ohtani on the mound, and I know going first 5, I'm going to get him versus Rodriguez. If you look at the other stats in this game, Ohtani, last 3 starts, he's got a strikeout to walk ratio of 28-5. Again, when I see numbers like that, that tells me he's had full command of all of his pitches, and I'm going to look for him to dominate Baltimore tonight. Baltimore's been playing well lately, but they just played 3 against my Pittsburgh Pirates. We talked about them at the beginning of the show. They're back to the Pirates that we know and love. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Angels first 5 for my best bet tonight.
Like it. And just Ohtani listed there, Marco, is that the way you would bet it?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Like it. Marco
we don't want any surprises.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially with a guy like that, man. Wow. What he's been able to put together both on the hill and in the batter's box. Marco D'Angelo, guys, again, a reminder that 4% play up and available just $9. We got Dwayne Bryant up next, and a promo code for Dwayne, DB3, get you a 3-day all access, $39, like buying a 1-day pass and getting 2 days free. That coupon code is DB3. He's up over 8% ROI this year on the diamond. So Dwayne, throw it over to you, man. You've been seeing it well this season in MLB. We love the breakdowns here on First Pitch. Any final thoughts for the show, and where are you heading for best bets?
Yeah, I'm heading to Dodger Stadium here. Twins at the Dodgers. Dodgers anywhere from like a -113 to -120 last I looked. The first thing you think is that you don't see the Dodgers as a small home favorite very often. So that might make you think that the play is on the road team here. But if you go back to the beginning of last season, the Dodgers are actually 16-2 at home when the line is even money to -150. I get why the line is low. I mean, all you got to do is look at the starting pitching, the overall numbers of Pablo Lopez compared to the overall numbers of Noah Syndergaard. So, it all makes sense there. But the Dodgers have hit Lopez well. 74 career plate appearances against him. They hit him for a 324 average, a 370 weighted on base average. And yes, I know the Twins lit up the scoreboard over the weekend. 11 runs and 13 hits on Saturday, 16 runs and 18 hits yesterday. Those were home games. Now they had to travel. They're on the road. And that travel alone is enough to break up that momentum. And it's definitely not an offense output that they can sustain for any length of time. But the Dodgers are rolling too. I mean, they've won 5 straight, 13 of their last 15. They've won 9 straight at home. They haven't allowed more than 2 runs during this current 5-game win streak. Yeah, I mean, Syndergaard can't match Lopez's overall numbers, but he has pitched well at Dodger Stadium. Just look at the breakdown. ERA is 13 on the road, but only 347 at home. OPS allowed is 1185 on the road, but only 669 at home. Weighted on base average, 502 on the road, only 291 at home. And whip, 211 on the road, but only 116 at home. With LA, you're also getting the better pen. And they're especially good at home. I'm liking the Dodgers here at the short price. I'll lay a minus 115 there, minus 120. This is an actual subscriber release. I gave this out today as a 3% regular size play. Take the Dodgers tonight.
Dwayne Bryant, Dodgers there. So big LA night for the big best bets on first pitch here. And again, guys, that coupon code DB3. 3 days for one, pretty much all access, WagerTalk.com. Huge shout out to the chat box here. City by the Bay. It's like in Phillies, plus 100 as the best bet today. He's been hot. Shout out to you, City by the Bay. Benzo in the house. Sean Marion, what's up to you? Russell Deck as well. We got Paco Healy. He might not agree with that LA look. I'm just saying that because he's a Padres fan. Shout out to you, Paco. Manu, he's watching from Rome. Shout out to you, Manu. Thanks for joining us on the other side of the pond. Roger Long saying, found a Sports Illustrated from 1986 sports gambling feature story. Gold Sheet can be seen on the table. Roger Long, love hearing that stuff. Goldsheet.com as well. It's been around for a long time. Sharp betting service there. And we got Steve Merrill to finish us off here. Our cleanup hitter, best bet. Steve, I'll throw it over to you. Just a bit outside. What do you got for final thoughts and best bet for the show?
$9 Monday. It's simple. Get all best bets for $9 at WagerTalk, including a powerful steamroller blowout tonight at a plus money price. If you like blowout winners at plus money prices, don't miss my $9 MLB steamroller blowout for $9 Monday. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com. And bonus free play tonight between the Blue Jays and Yankees on my page right now. I put free plays up every day. They've hit almost 60% this year free. Great way to build that bankroll before you get on board a direct subscription. Yankees Blue Jays free play up right now on my page as well for Monday. And here's another game that was just a bit outside from making the cut in the American League, and that's the under between the Orioles and Angels, under 8 minus $1.15. Now, some sharp leading indicator books are already down to 7.5 offshore, so keep an eye on this one and grab that under 8 while you can. And I agree with that sharp money move to the under. First of all, whenever Ohtani's on the mound for the Angels, you're always looking for a good outing. You know, if you look at his last 3 starts, you'd be like, well, he's not in good current form, but it's extremely misleading. It's just because he finally gave up some home runs. This guy gave up no home runs in his first 5 outings of the season. And then he gave up 4 home runs in 11 innings in 2 starts against Oakland and St. Louis, but he only gave up 8 hits in those 11 innings, despite allowing 9 runs. He also had 21 strikeouts and only 3 walks. So I knew he was still pitching fine. Had a good outing on May 9th against the Houston Astros, defending World Series champs. Gave up just 3 runs and only 6 hits in 7 innings, but once again gave up a home run. So the numbers overall, as far as runs allowed, look like he's declining, but I think he'll have no problem shutting down Baltimore tonight. Orioles are not in good current form offensively. Come off a shutout loss against Marco D'Angelo's Pittsburgh Pirates, the slumping Pirates on Sunday. Not a good sign. They only put up 2 runs on Saturday against those Pirates. And it's not a fluke. This Baltimore team has now scored 2 runs or less in 5 of their last 9 games. They've had 7 hits or less in 7 of those 9 games. They're not hitting the ball. Hard to imagine they're going to get healthy offensively all of a sudden against Ohtani, who's maybe the best pitcher in MLB right now. So I look for a low-scoring game. And I think the Angels might struggle as well. So you could look at the Angels' money line, but I think the under is the best play here, under 8. Both teams do have good bullpen numbers on the season. Ohtani goes 6 to 7 innings per start. And the Angels have also been very sporadic offensively this year. And this is a team that's put up 4 runs or less in 3 of their last 5 games, including 3 runs or less in 2 of those 5. So look for a low-scoring game in Baltimore tonight. Angels, Orioles under 8 as your free play. Bonus free play between the Blue Jays and Yankees on my page right now, along with that powerful $9 steamroller blowout for $9 Monday. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com.
Check them out. $9 Monday. Recap for the best bets. Colorado plus 110. My best bet. We got Dwayne Bryant. Dodgers minus 115. And Steve Merrill, just heard it there. Angels and Orioles under 8 minus 115 price tag. Marco D'Angelo, Angels first 5 minus 140. And the gold sheet lining up. Colorado Rockies plus 110. The home dog is barking a mile high, that is. Marco D'Angelo, Dwayne Bryant, Steve Merrill. Check them out, wagertalk.com. $9 Monday, guys. All plays discounted to just $9. I am Drew Martin. Again, huge shout out to the chat box. All you guys firing away, and feel free to reply below. Please smash the like button. It does help us out. Subscribe to the channel. And thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. Come back and join us. Cash those tickets. Thanks for tuning in.
Each and every Monday is $9 Monday at both WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, when all daily picks packages are priced at only $9, including 5% best bets, normally priced at $35. As an added bonus, any picks packages loaded early for Overnight Tuesday or action during the week will also be priced at $9 until midnight on Monday. So make sure to take advantage of getting these $25 and $35 picks for only $9 before the clock strikes 12 and they return to regular price.